All right, and welcome to the Iowa State Daily Extra Point Show. Today was Media Day at Jack Trice Stadium. I'm Ryan Young, Assistant Sports Editor.
I'm Luke Manderfeld, Assistant Sports Editor.
And today we kicked off our Media Day with the Iowa State football team for the 2015 season. Got things going. Coach Rhodes addressed the media today, and he had the same optimism he's had for the past few seasons, which was a little weird, don't you think?
Yeah, he had the same optimism even despite two pretty tough seasons, 3 wins in 2013 and 2 wins last season. But he also focused on some things like leadership was kind of a big thing at his opening statement, and he said that he actually asked the players who they thought was a leader, which is something he said was kind of new for him. So yeah, and he also touched on injuries, which also hurt their season last year. So they've been trying to do preventative measures to help prevent those injuries.
And with that leadership thing, I think that's probably the biggest thing that we should be looking at from his press conference today. Since they're talking about leadership, I think it's great to see that they're working on their inside team efforts first and then working outward and working to the on-field stuff. Because once you can, really hammer out those inside team issues, the on-field stuff will just come naturally.
And look, Ryan, nobody likes to lose, and that definitely hurt morale last 2 seasons. 3 wins, 2 wins, and that's not even close to bowl eligible. So, like you said, internal stuff is important. Just keep the morale up and keep the confidence high going into the season.
Here's a clip from Rhodes this morning. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Always begins when the previous season reaches all zeros. Since then, every step of the way, I've seen tangible improvement with this football team. It's a team that has closeness and great team chemistry. I've seen it every step of the way, beginning with the early off season in the month of January, heading into February. That's the time when they get back on campus, they start weight workouts, some conditioning stuff, speed stuff. Then into the mid-off season stuff. The workouts that they endure there are some of the toughest of the year. They're tough because they're grueling in nature, but there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no games on the horizon that they're getting ready to play. Then into spring ball, where we're developing the offensive and defensive skills on the field, and most notably from start to finish of summertime workouts. That's a time in large extent where our coaches aren't around. It's the players bonding together, working together, and the strength staff. And from the first week to the end, I saw a team improve on a daily and weekly basis. This is a group of young men that are eager and excited to get started. With that being said, we've got an offense that's thin at running back, but I think quite capable. We have a talented group of wide receivers, although they might not warrant the hype that they're receiving at this point. We've got a tight end group that will be a group as we put them on the field. We have a group of offensive linemen that I'm anxious to see develop as training camp and the season goes along. And we've got a quarterback more than anyone else on the team that's ready to lead this team to victory. Defensively, we have a secondary that I think will be our strength. Proven corners and a number of them, and a duo of safeties that I think are quite good. Defensive line and linebackers, like the offensive line, I'm anxious to see them develop through training camp and into the season. Specialists, I think our kicker's as good as anybody in the country. I think he'll show that as the year goes along. And we have a punter who now knows what to expect coming off his true freshman season. Health is the hand we'd like to be favorably dealt as we go into the 2015 season.
One of the main topics that they touched on at the press conference and during player interviews was how good this offense could be, especially the passing game. Sam Richardson had a lot of things to say, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and I think that's really good. He said the biggest things that he has really improved on was more his leadership quality. And I think last season that wasn't probably the best. I mean, he wasn't even named the starter until mid-fall camp last season, which really, I think, slowed their offensive progression down just because they had the lack of reps. But now that he's been the starter for a year and everybody's comfortable with him, I think they're going to be able to do some pretty cool things.
And senior wide receiver Quentin Budrich will be returning from the ACL injury he suffered last season, so that's some more leadership to look for in the offense, especially in the receiving core.
Yeah, and that receiving core is full of guys. They have Budrich, like you said, who's back from his injury. They have Alan Lazard, the sophomore from Urbandale, who really had a tremendous year last year after just being thrown into that role when Budrich went down. They have Tavares Montgomery, they have several other guys who are there, and that, they said, while there's a lot of potential there and Rhodes wasn't quite ready to give in to all of the hype that the receivers have, but there's definitely something to look for there. Here's what some of the receivers had to say about the passing game.
Yeah, besides us three, I think we still have a lot of talent in the room, a lot of talent that even I probably don't even really know about, because we just have a lot of depth in our room, and I think besides us three, besides our starters, that our 2-3 deep can produce just as well.
And with Sam throwing you guys the ball, with him being in charge, does that help knowing that he's a senior, it's his job this time around?
It helps a lot coming from him, because like I said, he's one of those role model guys on the team that we all look up to, and he does his best every time he's out there. So I mean, coming from him, just receiving a catch or pass or whatever you want to call it, it's a big thing for me. So.
Mm-hmm. And Rhodes mentioned consistency with you guys, just getting the ball, doing the little things. Is that something you guys have been focusing on a lot?
Yes, it actually is. We focus a lot on pretty much being consistent throughout practice, not loafing, stuff like that. But in the same sense, coming from, like I said, I can keep harping on it all day, every day, but coming from Sam, he's one of those guys, he expects you to be where you're supposed to be, and he expects you to give him your all. And I can fully understand, and all of us can say we fully are bought into this program, and I feel like everything we have in the receiving core is going to really take us that much higher on the offense. But
the receivers, yeah, it's definitely an opportunity. I think that's the only way that I view it. I don't think it's. We're going to throw the ball a lot. We're going to spread it out and give those guys the ball as much as we can. So it's just definitely making the plays that are in front of me and seeing those guys go to work. It'll be fun. Just a lot easier. It'll be easy on me, honestly. So. It's a fun group, and I'm definitely ready to get out there on the field. So.
But offensively also, the running game seems really, really thin right now. They don't have many guys at all, do they?
No, the redshirt sophomore Tyler Brown is the most experienced on this Iowa State team for running backs. He's the only one with carries, actually. He'll be starting at the beginning of the season, and he said that he loves playing with a chip on his shoulder, which he has. Everyone's kind of doubting him for the inexperience. And Mike Warren, the redshirt freshman who will be backing him up, it looks like pre-fall camp, he's on the depth chart as the backup. He also said that he's ready to help out Tyler Brown, and it looks like they're going to have kind of a rotation going with those two guys. So it'll be cool to see what they do there. And then Joshua Thomas, the incoming freshman from Georgia, kind of a power back. He's not on the depth chart right now, but look for him 6 games in, and he said he's ready to go whenever he gets his name called.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how that running game develops, but it seems like it's going to be a pretty pass-heavy offense to get the things going right away.
Yeah, and what they said was, or the running back said, was that it's going to be more of a situational thing for them. I mean, they're obviously going to try to set play action, but it's going to be like a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 kind of thing, goal line situation. The running backs are going to come into more of a play, but in the overall scheme of things, it's going to be more through the air.
Definitely. Okay, so the Cyclones will kick off their season on September 5th here at Jack's Rice Stadium at 7 o'clock. They take on UNI, who is number 10 in the FCS Bowl, which was just released a few days ago. That should be a pretty good game, don't you think?
Yeah, it'll be a great game to watch. And in-state rivalries are always great to watch.
Yeah, definitely. So keep following us at the Iowa State Daily. You can follow us on Twitter, and we'll be back with another ISD Extra Point in a few days.